But today I'm going to make homemade bark butter, and I'm going to show you how to do it right here in my kitchen today. Hello, it's Ron Durant. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make bark butter for your birds. Now, bark butter is similar to suet, except it's more of a spreadable suet, so you can put it on a woodpecker pole or a tree branch or whatever you want to put it on, instead of the square package that you buy at the store. In my opinion, the bark butter that I make is healthier than what you're buying at the store. There are several YouTube videos out there on showing what kind of bark butter is at the store. They melt it down and go through it and pick out the ingredients. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the ingredients to make bark butter. And we're going to start off with plain old yellow cornmeal. I just buy the cheap stuff, the Great Value brand. You'll need all-purpose flour. You'll need quick oats, not the long cooking oats, but the quick oats. You'll need 16 ounces of lard, and you'll need a 16-ounce jar of what I like is creamy natural peanut butter. All this stuff is Great Value brand except for the lard. Things got a little messed up in my audio and video settings. What you want to do is add the lard and peanut butter in a 3-quart saucepan and melt it on medium heat. Do not melt it too fast or you'll end up burning it. You want to stir it constantly while it's melting in the pan. Okay, we're going to get the dry ingredients now ready while the mixture is melting over there on the stove. Keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. The dry ingredients, the ratios, the mixture is 3½ cups of the quick oats, 3½ cups of the cornmeal, 1 cup of flour. The flour is just there to kind of help bind it together, and then 1 cup of the crushed up sunflower seeds. So what I do is just get a regular old measuring cup and get one out of the cabinet here. I just use that. So that's a ½ a cup. I'd rather have a full cup. It's over there. Got my full cup, measuring cup. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of the flour. Now what I did is I got a 4-cup glass measuring bowl. You can use any bowl you want. I just have this one. It's handy. It's got a handle on it, made by Pampered Chef. Actually, it's an 8-cup, so it'll hold all the ingredients that I'm about to put in there. So we'll put 1 cup of flour in there, okay? And then we're going to put 3½ cups of cornmeal. And when you buy this stuff at the store, you can get it in 5-pound bags or 4-pound bags now. No, it's 5-pound bags. So it'll make several mixtures. That's 1, 2. Well, I only got 2½ cups of the cornmeal, so I'll have to improvise here. One, 2, 2½. So I'm about 2 cups short, which means if I do it this way, if I put less dry ingredients in there, then it's going to be just a little bit smoother to smear, which is okay by me, okay? So I don't want to put any more flour in there. Now I'm going to add the 1 cup of sunflower seeds. And then I'm going to stir all that up, and get me a wooden spoon over here. I'm going to stir all that up in the mixing bowl and make sure that that is all good and mixed up. And that way when you pour it into the melted mixture, it's already mixed up and you don't have to stir it up too much. Anyways, so 3 to 3½ cups of quick oats, 3 to 3.5 cups of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, and in a cup, you can use wild bird seed if you want to, just to give it a little texture. I wouldn't use any corn, whole corn, dry corn. If I was going to do that, I'd grind it up so it's a little bit finer. But you really don't need to do that because you got cornmeal in here. So I would just put in what I said to put in. So we're going to go over here and check on our mixture now, see how it's melting out. Okay, the mixture's coming along, melting. We'll give it a little bit of stir here. You want to make sure this is mixed, is melted down all the way, that there's no unmelted peanut butter or unmelted lard in here. And I'm going to bring the camera over here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it's melting down pretty good in the pan. And just as soon as this is all melted down, we're going to add our dry ingredients to it. Clean up the little kitchen here a little bit. Now what I have to put this stuff in is a Tupperware container, and it is, how big is that? It's 2 quarts, okay? A 2-quart Tupperware container, and it'll hold it all, okay? No problem at all. And I'm just gonna keep it by here, by the stove for now. And then we're gonna mix this up and pour it in there. Well, as you can see, our mixture is just about finished. Now what I like to do is I like to put everything over in the sink and mix it. That way if I splooge it out of the pan, it don't make a big mess on the stove. So I'm about to move over to the sink and put the ingredients in here and mix it all together. Okay, we have this mixture all finished. I'm going to put the pan in the sink, and then I'm going to get my dry ingredients here. And I'm not going to add this whole thing at one time. I'm going to add it a couple cups at a time and get it in there and start stirring it. That's enough to start. We'll stir that around till it gets absorbed in that mixture. And this is why I do it in the sink, in case I make a mess. You want to make sure you kind of push it against the side of the pan to get out any clumps that are in there. And put some more in there. And as you mix it up, it'll get thicker and thicker and thicker. I'll write up the recipe and put it in the video on a piece of paper, and take a picture of it, and that way you'll have it. You don't have to kind of remember what I was talking about too much. The recipe's kind of flexible. More oats and cornmeal than anything. If you put any birdseed stuff in here, make sure you don't, I wouldn't put any black oil sunflower seed in or anything like that. Only because I don't know about the shells and stuff, you know, how birds react to that. I'm sure they got to go peck them shells open, but I'm mainly just creating my own suet here. You can omit the sunflower seeds if you want to. I didn't have enough cornmeal or quick oats today, so you want to make sure you have plenty of that on hand. I thought I did, but I was about a cup short on each one. That's okay. It'll just make this a little bit smoother to spread on the woodpecker pole I have. As you can see, it's getting a little bit thicker. Okay, and that's all the dry ingredients I have. We'll make sure that gets all stirred up real good. Make sure you use a wooden spoon or a rubber spatula so you don't scratch your pan. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. I wish I'd had enough. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. What we're going to do now is we're going to pour it in this container. Scrape it all out real good. I'll tell you what, the birds, they just love this stuff. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take that container and I'm going to put it in my pantry till tomorrow. It's going to take about 24 hours for that to solidify back so we can use it. So that, my friends, is how you make bark butter. It's a better alternative to the store-bought suet. I believe it's cheaper to make. You know, all these ingredients here didn't cost me but $10, and this is going to go a long ways, okay? And bark butter, I think, is a great alternative to the regular store-bought suet. And you just take it out there with a little, I have a little cake spatula thing. And I just go out there and smear it on the woodpecker log. I've drilled some holes in it, and it really works out pretty well for me. So we'll pick up this video again tomorrow when I go outside to actually put it on the woodpecker pole.